Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a tonic, a formula, or one of my recipes that I use specifically on potted plants. It can be ornamentals or edibles. So I'm going to give you a close-up of a tomato plant that is just producing tomatoes like crazy, and it's only in a small pot. Let's take a quick look at that. So guys, this really simple formula that I've been using, I only water the plant once a week. It's really simple to put together, but as you can see, the tomatoes on this small potted plants have just exploded with growth. I've got one in the back there and about half a dozen, maybe 7 on the front, and I've already harvested once off this plant and it's already producing a second set of tomatoes. So early in the season, but it is working incredibly well. So this is something I did last year. I'm doing it again this year, and it's specifically made for growing in pots. There's a very specific reason, and I'll tell you about that in just one second. But let's head into the potting shed, and I'll show you exactly how to put this super simple formula together. So guys, whether you're growing tomatoes like I had outside in that pot, or this particular pepper plant that I brought inside just to show you, there's some great peppers already growing on it. So this is specifically for potted plants, and I'd grow just as many plants in pots as I do in my raised vegetable garden. And the reason is that these potted plants can sometimes actually accelerate growth and start producing produce before my raised vegetable garden does. That's because the soil in these get warmer, and so the plant thinks it's later in the season and starts producing much quicker. So if you want to get vegetables quicker each year, start your vegetables in pots like this. And this is a really heavy duty pot. These I bought from Amazon. They're not like the cheap pots you're going to get at your garden center or big box store. I'll put a link in the description, but these have lasted for years and years, and I just use them over and over, so they really are great. But anyways, getting back to our formula, this is because potted plants lose a lot of nutrients through rainfall and our own watering. So this is something you're going to need to do once a week, but you'll see massive results over time in your garden. And if you're growing ornamentals, same thing. It loses nutrients in the soil as each time it's watered or each time you have a heavy rainfall. So doing this simple recipe, just a few common household items, amazing results in a short amount of time. And I've done this for 2 years in a row. This is the second year, and I'm really happy with the results. So if you want to get a more detailed view of this, I've created a PDF. Go to my Patreon. You can download it if you're a member for free. And if you're not a member, you can just buy it outright. But anyways, let's get on to the recipe. So these are our 5 common household items that you're going to have. And a lot of people say, well, I don't have fish emulsion or fish fertilizer. You can actually make this yourself with just a simple can of sardines, and I'll go over that in just a second. I'll do that first. But the other items here, a lot of people have ammonia in their house. They have baby shampoo, Knox gelatin if they do any type of cooking or making jello, and simple brewed coffee. So these ingredients all mixed together in specific proportions and applied to your plant make a huge difference in your vegetable garden or your ornamental. So let's go through each one of these items and I'll explain it in detail. So guys, if you want to use this particular brand of fish fertilizer, I'll put a link in the description. But if you're wanting to make your own, it's really easy to do. What you're going to do is you'll take 1 can of sardines, take 2 sardines out of the can, put it in a blender and add about 6 ounces of water, and then you'll have your own fish fertilizer. Don't let it sit for too long because the smell can become overpowering, because once you remove it from the can, you're going to have a decay and bacteria processes starting. So just remember, if you don't want to buy it off the shelf or online, you can make your own. So guys, let's talk about assembling our recipe here. Now this is just brewed black coffee. It's not flavored. We don't add anything to it. Make sure there's no sugar in it. But the reason black coffee works so well in this recipe, it adds a small amount of organic material. It's going to add trace minerals. It's going to add weak acidity to the water. And in this formula, the coffee is not being used as a strong fertilizer. It's used as a light soil tonic ingredient. So the first thing, you want just regular brewed coffee without any type of flavoring. Now the next thing we're using is just ordinary whiskey, and these little bottles I think you can get for $1 or $1.50 depending on where you get them from. But the reason we're using whiskey, and we're using it in very small amounts, that the alcohol and the contents contained in each small amount that we're using has plant-derived organic compounds. Now, this is from grain fermentation and aging, and that's why you have those in there. But in this tonic, the whiskey should be viewed as a tiny microbial stimulant and not a fertilizer. So we want to look at it as this. This is going to add diluted organic compounds, and it might slightly stimulate microbial breakdown. Now next I'm going to say a few words about the fish fertilizer or the fish emulsion. Now you can, like I said, you can make your own, but the fish emulsion or fish fertilizer, we're only using a very small amount again. This is going to add gentle nitrogen, and that's going to support green leafy growth. Also, it's going to support steady growth, and it's going to add trace minerals. A lot of people don't take that into account, but when you're putting together a garden, trace minerals are extremely important. And it's also going to feed the soil biology. And if there's one thing that's most important in any garden, is the soil. That is the key to a successful garden. I'll put on the screen right here the best plants for the fish emulsion specifically in your garden. Now next, I want to talk about gelatin and how it works in this recipe. It's going to provide slow organic nitrogen, and gelatin is not an instant fertilizer. It works very slowly as the microbes break it down in our potting mix. Also, it supports soil microbes by feeding them, and it gives a tiny amount of microbial activity in the root zone. So it's going to help replace what happens when we commonly water or we get a lot of rainfall. It's going to replace all those nutrients that have been leached out of our soil. So you're going to use this, and it's very useful for leafy growth. So nitrogen is an important item for chlorophyll, leaf development, and general plant vigor. So again, we're using small amounts of each one of these, but this is a key ingredient as well. Now next, we're going to use baby shampoo, and this is going to help the water spread evenly. A tiny amount of this, just a small amount, is going to help reduce surface tension. A lot of times when soil becomes really dry, the surface become hydrophobic, which means water will run off and down the sides of your potting plant, whatever you have it planted in. And so you want to use this because you can have pockets of dry area down in the soil, even though the surface may absorb the absorb the water. So just remember, this is going to help the plant receive the water more evenly throughout the entire potted plant. Now the last item in our recipe is just common household ammonia, and I'll give you 4 things that this is going to help your plant with. It's going to add quick nitrogen, and nitrogen supports green leaves, stems, and active growth. Container plants often run short on nitrogen because it's leached out so easily. It's going to help replace rain-washed nutrients. Heavy watering can carry nitrogen out of the pot every single time. So this small amount helps give a light replacement feeding. It pairs with our slower feeding ingredients such as the gelatin and fish emulsion that provides slower organic support. So when we mix these together, the mix both gives immediate and gradual feedings together. So this formula helps with slow feeding and quick nitrogen boost. So it's like a slow feeding and a quick feeding. So you're getting dual action with this. So it's going to last throughout the week, but then when you first give it to it on that first day, you're going to have just a sudden impact on your plant, and then across the next 6 days it will help quite a bit. Now another thing you need to take into account is that when we have a potted plant, that you can easily overfeed it. So the way this formula works is it's more of a gentle feeding. You're not giving it a huge dose of those corporate items that even I use from time to time, but those big box store items can actually damage your plant. So you want to use something very gentle on the plant and make sure that it's going to last throughout the week. So you're not giving that sudden blast of that blue mix product. I won't mention the name, but it can be just too much for the plant, especially if it's in a small pot like this. It can actually damage the root system. So you're getting very gentle root support inside of your pot. Now I want to give you 2 things on the screen right here. The first thing I'm going to put up is the plants that it's going to be most beneficial for, and then there's another set of plants that you need to use it more cautiously on, and I'll put up that list second. So again, with any type of fertilization program, you have to be careful because some plants can react negatively while others will boost in growth and start producing either flowers or vegetables depending on what you're growing. Now I also have a suggested weekly feeding schedule for the first 4 weeks, and you can take a look at this on the screen right here. Just pause it. I'll make it completely full screen so you can easily take a screenshot or just kind of mentally jot down what's there. But that's the first 4 weeks. Once everything's going good, then just a once a week feeding. Now the second screen here I'm going to make full screen is signs that the tonic is helping. It's quite a few items here that you can see improvement in. So just take a look at that, pause the screen, I'll put it up full screen right here, and you can get an idea of how you can see the tonic actually helping your vegetables or flowers to produce more of what they're designed to. Now there could be a case where you may want to dilute it even more or pause it altogether. I'm going to put a full screen listing here of reasons you might want to do that, because not all plants are going to react the same to any type of fertilizer. So just remember, look for these items you see right here on the screen, full screen, pause it, take a screenshot, and remember that you may want to cut the formula by 50% if you're seeing any of those negative results. Now before I go on to mixing the recipe complete together, I just want to talk, there's some extra items in the PDF I've created. It's a 6-page PDF, so it's more like a booklet than just a 1-page form. But it's going to give you some extra tips that are going to help a lot with this formula. I'll put as much information in the PDF as possible. I'm continually adding to it, so just take a look at it. If you're already a paid member of the Patreon, you can download it for free, and I try to give all my Patreon supporters as much information about their gardening with everything I do. So sometimes PDFs, you can sit down and think about what you're reading and you get more out of it. Watching a video, a lot of times the information can just slip past you. So take a look at that PDF, save it to your device, download a hard copy of it, and you'll have it each year when you go to plant whatever you're planting, whether it's ornamentals or vegetables. Okay, let's assemble our formula. The first thing we're using is our brewed black coffee. And remember, there's no flavoring in this, there's no sugar, it's just common black coffee. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons in our formula. And this will add trace minerals, mild organic support, and slight acidity. So, sorry, I'm making a big mess here. But anyways, yeah, that's what coffee is going to do for our formula. Get that out of the way and move on to our next item. Next, we're using our whiskey. Any brand will work, so the cheaper the better, because you can probably get a little bit better discount on it there. I just buy these small bottles from my garden whenever I'm mixing anything like this. So as I'm not going to drink it, I'm not a big fan of whiskey. So we're going to use 2 tablespoons of our whiskey. And for the people who do like whiskey, you'll have a little bit left over to enjoy. Now our fish emulsion, I have to warn you that this can have a powerful odor. A lot of people can't take it. And so the homemade type you may like better. And the reason is the sardines are not going to have a strong smell. And I forgot to mention, the sardines you use, you want to make sure they are in water and not in oil. Now our fish formula, we're only going to use 1 teaspoon. Let me move this a little bit more in camera there. We're only using 1 teaspoon of this, so we want to make sure that we're really careful about that. The odor does bother some people, so that's why I always go back to recommending making it yourself, because you're not going to have near the smell you will with just making it out of water-based sardines. Let's do a little bit of mixing there, because the fish emulsion tends to stick to our spoon there, and I want to make sure it's nice and clean before we move on to the next item. Now one more thing about the fish emulsion, it's going to add gentle nitrogen and it's going to do trace nutrient feeding. Let's move on to our gelatin. Now our gelatin, we're going to add only a very small amount, half a teaspoon, and that is going to go like that, and it may add a little bit of floating gelatin on the top as it mixes with our liquid, so you may have to mix it quite well. If you happen to have a blender around your greenhouse, once you mix everything together, just give it a quick spin in your blender and that will work as well. But the thing about gelatin is it's going to have a slow organic nitrogen as the microbes break it down. So the gelatin is really important for that long-term feeding. Now next, we're going to do the same amount as we did with our gelatin. We're going to use half a teaspoon. Let's see if we can do this without making a huge mess. Very small amount. And remember, again, this is a wetting agent that's going to help our formula get down into the soil, because the soil itself, if you've ever noticed, if you've seen potting soil that's been beaten down by really hot sun, it can become hydrophobic. So when you pour water on it, it can actually roll off to the sides of the pot and avoid going to the root zone. So it's really important that we do something that's going to help the water go directly into where the root zone is. So the wetting agent or the baby shampoo is really important. You can buy professional wetting agents, but I find this to be a perfect alternative, and it's a lot cheaper. Now lastly, we're using our ammonia, just common ammonia, unscented. Nothing special about it, it's just an all-purpose ammonia. And remember, be careful with this and try not to breathe anything in, because ammonia can be really rough on your sinuses and nasal passages, so just remember that. So we're going to be very careful with this, and we're only using half a teaspoon, and it is so easy to spill this. Probably have to do a little bit of cleaning after that. Only half a teaspoon, and mix it very carefully. Now we want to do just some gentle mixing here to make sure everything is mixed well. And remember, this is not a foliar feeding recipe. This is for the root zone. So I would recommend that you don't use a sprayer in the case of this, because you can damage the leaves with some of the ingredients here. We want this to go directly to our root system to feed our plant, to help boost growth, produce either flowers or vegetables, whatever we're growing, and it will work great. It's a very gentle feeding process. So this is not like those industrial feeders or inorganic fertilizers where it's going to just give it this massive dose of nitrogen. This is really a very gentle feeding system. So I think this absolutely has worked better on my potted tomato plants this year than anything else I put on. And the one at the beginning of the video I showed you, I've only done this formula on it to see what the results would be just for this video. Now, one note I've yet to mention about the water I'm using in this formula: you're using 1 gallon of water. You can cut the formula in half if you only have a couple of potted plants you want to apply it to, or by 1/4. You could just make it much smaller recipe so you don't have to mix it up. I don't recommend storing this because it can lose its potency over time. So use up what you're making on that first day and then see the results. But I don't recommend storing this in a fridge or anything else. Sometimes the odors can be really powerful, so if you do store it in a fridge, you'll regret it in just a few days. So remember that one point. Now, about the water that goes in here, remember you need to use very pure water. I have a rain catch on the side of the greenhouse, so all the water I use in my formulas is very pure water. If you're using tap water, put it in a container without a lid and allow it to off-gas the chlorines and whatever else is in there. Allow it to happen over a 24-hour period. But it's a lot easier if you just set up a rain catch, and you'll have fresh, clean water all the time, and you don't have to buy spring water or ultra processed water that's went through filters and everything like that. So this right here is the easiest way to do it. I'm trying to think of, it's a carbon filter that they use in a lot of filtration systems. So that water is going to be a lot more expensive even by the gallon. And we are using 1 gallon in this recipe, but like I said, you can cut it down to 1/4, 1/2, whatever size number of potted plants. And I would recommend using anywhere from ½ a cup to 1 cup per potted plant weekly. Now, there's one more thing I want to mention about the strength of this recipe. A lot of people will probably ask me, well, can't I just double the strength of the recipe to give it more growth and produce more flowers and or vegetables? No, don't mix it stronger, because you can actually damage the root system. So I would recommend leaving the formula as it is. You can add more than 1 cup. You could go to 2 cups if you have a very large potted plant, but I wouldn't recommend increasing any of the values of any of these in the recipe. So just remember, keep everything as far as the mixture the same per gallon. If you want to make 2 gallons, of course, then you would double it because you have a larger volume of water. But just remember, you don't want to double this in the standard gallon size. So just remember, keep the recipe exactly as it is. And if you want to take a closer look and read a lot more in detail as to why this works so well, it'll probably be an hour-long video if I put every piece of information that's in the PDF into the video. And a lot of people get bored after about 15 or 20 minutes. So if you're a person that likes to read, or you want to research more into this formula, take a look at that PDF. Again, if you're a member of the Patreon, I'm trying to give you as much value as possible by giving you as many things inside of the Patreon that make it worthwhile. If you want to just buy it outright and not become a member of the Patreon, then you can do that as well. So guys, gardening season is well underway, and I hope this recipe really helps you have an abundance of whether you're growing vegetables or flowers. I hope it helps either way, because it works on all sorts of things. Take a look at the most recommended things to use it on inside of the PDF, because you can use it on vegetables, as I said earlier, or ornamentals. There's one thing I always appreciate: if you leave a comment, please become a public subscriber first, because I tend to put those questions to the front of the line. And at the very least, if you just give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, that will mean a lot to me. So guys, I really appreciate you watching. Have a great day.